It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For the next 31 days on the FCPA Compliance Report, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
This month's sponsor of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across almost all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies and even individuals. Having served in over 750 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, visit this month's sponsor, Affiliated Monitors, at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. Skills for innovation in compliance. Innovation in compliance is one of my passions for every chief compliance officer and compliance practitioner to embrace. It is so much so that I dedicate an entire podcast series to this topic, aptly named Innovation in Compliance. But what kind of innovation do you need for compliance? Should you have a chief innovation officer for compliance? Does your corporation have a chief innovation officer? What are the skills needed for a chief innovation proponent within your company? In an article entitled, "What kind of chief innovation officer does your company need?" The authors looked at 80 companies who hired senior innovation executives and the skill sets needed. And I review those in this podcast. So number one, research skills. Researchers define innovation as the invention of entirely new things. They use research skills to get their arms around new ideas and garner insights from large amounts of data. Research skills are important to determining the right questions, as it is about finding the answers. These skills are most useful where there is regulatory overlay, and compliance can certainly lay claim to that mandate. Research skills and innovation are most useful for innovation for companies, that are willing to make near-term investments for long-term gains. 2, engineering skills. Engineering skills are used to build something that works right now. It used to be tinker with ideas and technology and try things until something sticks, or simply improving a process. Someone with this skill set defines innovation as always working to make something a little bit better. Engineering skills are often seen as hands-on exploration, expert brainstorming, and mini test. They tend to lend themselves to the intersection of technology and its integration into the business process to create opportunities for process improvement. 3, investor skills. Investor skills are the rarest in compliance innovation. It is because an investor using these skills sees innovations as a means to an end, and that end is growth. Not just any kind of growth, however, big growth. Yet investor skills involve carefully allocating resources in order to optimize selective opportunities. These skills are useful in fast-moving environments where innovation can come from any direction: customers, competitors, startups, laboratories, or in many forms, including new markets, to create more effective compliance to improve business processes. Investor skills need to partner with a technical expert who can help them assess the feasibility and potential ideas, not just their current performance. Number 4, advocacy skills. Advocacy skills help to deliver something new for the end user. That end user can be a customer, a stakeholder, or a compliance professional. Advocacy skills understand what customers need and are in on the mission to explore and fulfill their needs. Advocacy skills in technology, fast-moving businesses would seem to be a functional definition of compliance in 2020. These skills are used to keep the compliance brand in your organization relevant and to keep a step ahead of where regulators currently are in best practices. 5, motivational skills. You might not think about motivational skills in innovation, but they work to unleash employees' creative spirits. That often involves getting people and a culture focused on vision and imagination while reducing bureaucracy, complexity, and risk aversion. They are most useful in unlocking the ideas of others, and are distinguished by their fascinating with narrative, people, and talent, and their friendly text and voicemail messages. And finally, number 6, organizational skills. Organizational skills are the true process-focused skill set, focusing on extents like key performance indicators, metrics, and stage gates. Organizational skills can look directly at process improvement, and they are often found in professional services, i.e. lawyers and compliance professionals. In other words, exactly the people who sit in the CCO seat. Organizational skills are highly valuable in company where innovations efforts require wide employee participation, and the real challenge is adequately managing them. Such skills can create momentum, galvanize support, and deftly navigate politics to help innovations go from an idea to a reality. Organizational skills should be partnered with those who can help to focus on the right issues and motivators to help them see when risk-taking should prevail. While you may not find one person with all of these skills, by identifying them, a CCO might be able to bring a range of skills to an innovation project. Further, by tempering some of the more extreme aspects of the skill set by partnering it with a countervailing skill set, a CCO can bring a more robust response to innovation. Also remember that innovation and compliance does not necessarily require a high cost of entry. You can innovate by looking to process improvement and moving outwards from there. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, I'd first like to start with a question. Do you have an innovation expert on your compliance team? Do you have someone with the skill set that I've articulated in this podcast? Obviously, this is not a skill set that you're trained on in law school, but it may be a skill set that someone in your team has. 2, what skills do the compliance professional have that lead themselves to innovation? Well, as I mentioned, the skill set on motivational skills and organizational skills are typically something that a compliance practitioner or a lawyer would have. And finally, thinking about broadening out your compliance reach by looking at others in your organization who might have one or more of these skill sets for you to utilize going forward. I hope you will enjoy the entire month on innovation and compliance and this month's offering of 31 days to a more effective compliance program. If I could ask you to do so, would you pass on to at least one person this podcast series on the nuts and bolts of compliance, as I'm trying to expand my audience base for 31 days to a more effective compliance program. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow, where I take up another topic in innovation and compliance. Thanks again for listening. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.